All right, he told me this mic's hot. All right, here we are. Welcome, everybody. We're kicking off live right now on the internet, dmlive.tv. I do a show every Friday called Green Social Station, and Clark's broadcasting it right now. So we're on the internet. Everybody that's going to get up here and speak, you know, if anybody got a phone or whatever, wants to call somebody and be like, hey, man, go to dmlive.tv and you can check us out here at the rally. People in Iowa represent, and I really appreciate them coming out. I really apologize also, a little slow on the promotions, or I guess a lack of promotion, so to say, but thanks for everybody coming out. I see a lot of familiar faces. There's still a few that I'm expecting to show up that aren't here. So they'll be showing up. We got a number of people that want to get up and speak. So I'll let everybody, you know, get up and grab the mic when they want. I want to first welcome Reverend Reefer Terry Mitchell. Where's he at?
Terry, where's Terry?
Excuse me. He was here. He was here when I got there. When I got here, he went to the facilities. He had an emergency, I guess. So nature called, and Reverend Reefer had to go. So I guess I wasn't really prepared to kick off my part of the talking. So if there's somebody else that's ready to get up here and grab the mic and bring it, I'll welcome them here to the Iowa Hemp Freedom Rally 2012, to where the law is wrong, not the bong. So here's St. Michael, and he's going to have a few words for you. Kick it off.
All right, welcome everybody. 2012 Worldwide Marijuana March. And maybe there's not a lot of people here, but you got to understand we're together with people all over the world. There's 1 million people right now everywhere around the world together with us in one voice saying, we think the laws need to change. And that's why we're here. It's really symbolic now that we actually march here in Des Moines. We go from City Hall, we go to the Capitol, and what we're trying to say is the laws need to be changed on a local level, on a state level, and on a federal level. So you can do things in a lot of different ways, even if you don't live in Des Moines. Maybe you can't get to the state capitol and lobby. Maybe you can't talk to those people. You can go to your county government. You can go to your city government and say, listen, make it a low priority. Don't stop arresting people for marijuana. Yeah, that's a good first step. On a local level, there's a lot of things that can be done by all of us. The most important thing is keep on talking about the marijuana issue. It's a huge issue. There's so many different subjects you can talk about. But the fundamental part of it is about individual liberties and freedom. We should have the same freedoms and rights that other people enjoy. You know, I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't think anybody should go to prison for cigarettes, though. And I hope the cigarette smokers wouldn't think anybody should go to prison for marijuana, which is less toxic, by the way. So that's the agenda we're pushing. Just equal rights and liberties for our people, for us, that everybody else enjoys as well. So we're going to get Johnny Reeferseed to come up here if he's ready. Maybe he's not ready yet. You know, we have one of the things I like to mention, and a lot of people know this, maybe some people don't know this, but we want to push for legal medical marijuana here in the state of Iowa. It's a good first step. But there's already people here in the state of Iowa that enjoy legal medical marijuana. That's right. Right now in the state of Iowa, the state allows people to smoke medical marijuana legally. Last year, Lenice Widower, one of those people, was here talking about her case. Since 1979, she legally smokes medical marijuana. Well, why can't the rest of us? Yeah. You know, laws are for everyone or for no one. So, and we have federal patients right here in the state of Iowa that federally get medical marijuana from the federal government. This is the same federal government that goes and raids dispensaries for selling medical marijuana. It doesn't make any sense. It needs to start making sense. We need to start pressuring everybody. And with an election coming up, you know, hopefully we'll see, well, we will. Definitely we will see more states come on board with the 17 that already have one form of medical marijuana or some kind of recreational, you know, maybe they have a lot of, it's just a civil fine. I mean, whatever kind of progress we make, it's a step in the right direction. And we're making progress. We are winning this war. It's taking longer than it should take. But every election, more and more states come on board. And this fall, there'll be more states. You know, there's 17, there'll probably be 21. If there's 26, if there's over half, we might have what we had in the Great Depression or in Prohibition, where once more than half the country came on board, the federal government says, well, we have to react. And that's how, you know, when you look back at Prohibition, alcohol became illegal like that. It also became legal like that again, because more than half the states were on board and the federal government was purchasing, all right, we got to follow the country. We got to follow the people we represent. So this will be a good election for us. And there's a lot of states that have ballots and initiatives, and at least 21 states, 4 more at the very least. If not, maybe we'll get more than a halfway point. So we'll have to see what happens. But I'm going to get ready to introduce our good friend Johnny Reeferseed. He's been doing this for a long time. And take it away.
Johnny Reeferseed, light him up.
Hey, thank you. A little song about being out of your medicine. I'm all alone Saturday night watching the Late Late Show. A bottle of wine, some cigarettes. I got no place to go. Well, I saw you, the man today. He's wearing my brand new shoes, and I'm down to seeds and stems again too. I saw my old friend Bob today from up in Bowling Green. He had the prettiest little gal that I ever seen, but I couldn't hide my tears at all. Yeah, she looked just like you, and I'm down to seeds and stems again too. Well, everybody tells me there's other ways to get high, but they just don't seem to understand. I'm too far gone to try. These are lonely memories are all I got to lose, and I'm down to seeds and stems again too. My dog died yesterday. Yeah, left me all alone. The finance company dropped by today, and they done repossessed my home. That's just a drop in the bucket compared to losing you, and I'm down to seeds and stems again too. I've got the down to seeds and stems again blues. Right on.
Right.
Well, one thing you need to ask these guys back here is why they're telling us that cocaine and amphetamines are less harmful than marijuana. Marijuana Schedule 1, cocaine Schedule 2. I guess
They never tried it.
that's right. I bet they tried the cocaine. But anyways, next bowling season, that's
Hey,
it.
Jamie, introduce Reverend Reaper's coming up.
All right. Give it up for Terry Mitchell.
Yeah! Yeah, the Godfather! The Godfather of the Marijuana March.
Not exactly.
Yeah, he is.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah!
This is about my 16th year down here,
Woo!
and the damn crowd's getting smaller. What's going on?
They're scared. Nobody knows about it.
I've had all these people tell me, well, I'm afraid my boss will see me on TV or something. I don't see no damn cameras.
Hey, everybody sees this if he's watching the feed.
All I got to say is the same thing I've been saying to everybody. I don't give a damn if it's a cop, a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, anybody and everybody that'll listen to you. Not only praise marijuana, but goddamn it, do some checking. See what all it is good for. I mean, whenever a guy starts talking to you about, well, the price of gas is so goddamn high, do you realize that they can do anything? Anything they do with petroleum, they can do with hemp seed oil. It's non-toxic. Grow as much or as little as you need from year to year. No storage cost, no transportation cost. There's so many different uses. That's what I'm saying. You've all got to get together and study up on the cannabis plant, not just marijuana. You got to study on the whole shooting match. So if a person brings up this subject, you can say, yeah, as a matter of fact, cannabis would make that a whole lot better deal too, because of this, this, this. You've got to be able to talk to the people intelligently about what the hell you want them to know. Educate yourself and then run them up their ass, okay? Please, people. I'm getting too damn old for this. Please, people. I want y'all to fill in for me, because I'm about to... I'm supposed to be on oxygen right now. Can't hardly breathe out here in this. Dew points up. But y'all need to educate yourselves so that you can educate the public. And don't limit yourself to the public. Walk right up to the cop and tell him, hey, you know what? Your job would be a whole lot better if you'd leave marijuana smokers alone. Prisons would be a hell of a lot smaller. Wouldn't be near as much corruption otherwise, because the cops would be in on trying to bust that shit rather than mess with us. Educate yourselves and then educate the public. Then we'll get some crowds down here. I've seen 300 or 400 people down here. What happened to you, Ray? But
I'm right here.
First day I started this 15 years ago, there was 12 people showed up.
Whoa.
So this is quite an accomplishment, but I have had as many as 400 out here. And that crowd's not here today. I want y'all to do what's right. God put it here to be used. Yeah. Preach it. Yeah. Yeah. Have a good one. Enjoy yourselves. And any questions you got for me about hemp, if I can't answer them, I know somebody that can.
I just kind of right.
All right, there you have it, Reverend Reefer. Thank you, Terry Mitchell, for representing. And he's right. You know, he said 12 years he's been coming. How many years, Terry?
15.
15 years. And it's like I came down back in 2005 one day with St. Michael. We came down, I said, like, because, you know, of course, you know, when you're involved with marijuana and you're involved with, you know, things, and you're kind of like, well, there's a marijuana rally, let's go down and check it out. And we came down, and it was just like an open day to where they had a mic, and met Jim, and he had a lot of information on the tables, and there was stuff you can get. But it was just an afternoon of an open mic, and if you wanted to come up and say a few words against this idiot lawmakers we got up there, you know, this is your chance. So it just so happened I got more involved by the next year. So Terry kind of threw it out there for me, and right now we're dealing with the exodus going on, and that'll be part of what I want to talk about when I talk, how the Colorado Department of Tourism, they should just pay me, because I think I've been responsible for like 8 people moving there in the last year. Because, so all I've been doing for the last 5 or 6 years is educating people about the laws in other states and the freedoms that they can enjoy in another state. But you know what? They move. So here I am, I persevere. So if the next person wants to get up and say a few words, come on up. The mic is open. The mic is hot. Come on up and bring it. I want to see somebody moving towards this microphone. I know Jim wants to talk. I know Carl probably wants to say a few words. I know Bob wants to talk. I know anybody. I see somebody moving towards the mic. Somebody in a tie-dye dress. I think she wants to get on the mic. Get on the mic. Get on the mic, my friend. Come on, the Iowa Hemp Freedom Rally. What's your name?
Tanya.
Tanya, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bobby, bring me my sign.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Tanya. I just want everybody to know that it sickens me that my government will sell you a pack of cigarettes that puts cancer in your body, and it's known to just kill everyone. We'll sell that to you, but we're not going to sell you what can heal you. We're not going to sell you what can run your car, make your clothes. Really? We're paying to kill ourselves when we're buying cigarettes. I smoke. Really, I do. But my issue is I can go in the store and get a pack of cigarettes and I'm not in trouble. But I'm dying. But it's killing me. And marijuana, it heals people. It kills cancer. It calms people. I know people who, they take Prozac and then they go to sleep. Not that anything's wrong with any of that, but it isn't natural. God gave us marijuana. He wants us to use it to make people better, to make things cheaper. Getting in trouble for having pot is like, oh, we'll feed you all the alcohol you want. You can get as drunk as you want, kill as many people as you want. But I've never really seen a person get really so stoned that they head on somebody. Have you? I mean, it's sickening. It's sickening. We'll give it to you. We'll give it to you in this dose and this dose. You can have it all you want. But because we don't want to give you marijuana, we're going to make it illegal. It's the best thing ever, besides God. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you for representing. All right.
All right. Just time to introduce Carl Olson. Some of you may be familiar with him. He's been well in the fight here in the state of Iowa to reform the laws. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Carl Olson, and I live here in Des Moines, and I've been attending these things for about 20 years. So I'm an active Democrat, and I've been on the county, district, and state platform committees for the last 15 years, 16, this is going on 16, and we've had medical marijuana in our county, district, and state platforms for the last 16 years, the whole time that I've been in there. So when you meet an Iowa Democrat, if you have a copy of their platform, it wouldn't be a good idea to just put it in front of them and say, what happened to this issue? It seems to be a persistent issue that Democrats need to be supporting. So anyway, this year in our county platform, the Polk County platform here, which is the biggest Democratic party in Iowa, we have support for industrial hemp in the agriculture section. We have repealing the criminal prohibition of marijuana in the government and law section, and legalizing medical marijuana in the health and human services section. So I also went on, and I was also appointed by the Polk County Central Committee Chair as the Secretary of the Convention. So I was there when the votes were taken, and that's how I participated at that level. Then I went on to the district, the 3rd Congressional District Platform Committee, which is the new 3rd District here that Leonard Boswell represents. And in our district platform, well, first of all, the first thing I did was got all the 16 county platforms to start putting them together to make the district platform. And this one platform really caught my attention. It's Montgomery County. And they had one plank in their platform. And it says, it's under agriculture and environment, and it says, because hemp is a fiber crop and should be grown in the USA, not imported from Canada, it has many qualities that make it a valuable crop, few if any pests, shades out weeds, needs very little fertilizer. Cotton is hard on the soil. It needs lots of pesticides. We can do better. Hemp oil has many good qualities as well. Because hemp has little THC, it can be grown for fiber and oil. Hemp is good for the soil and would add one more crop to our farmers for their use in rotation. Be it resolved, hemp growth should be permitted in the United States. That's their whole platform. Montgomery County. So anyway, the district level, we had our convention April 28th, and in the agriculture section we have industrial hemp. In the government and law section we have legalization of marijuana. In the health and human services section we have legalizing medical marijuana. I was appointed by the chair of the 3rd District Central Committee to be the secretary at the district convention. So that's what an activist, a marijuana legalization activist, can do if you spend your time and dedicate your time to it. I'm not saying that that's everything that needs to be done, because we still have problems with Democrats supporting this stuff. If you've been following the votes in Congress in the United States, you'll know that 5 years in a row Congress voted on states' rights for medical marijuana. 65% of Democrats supported that, 10% of Republicans, including Ron Paul. So when you add those numbers up, the Republicans and the third of the Democrats that didn't support it made a majority and it lost. But 65% of Democrats support states' rights on medical marijuana laws, and 10% of Republicans. So the end results, and now I'm on the state platform committee, and so I've assembled the 4 district platforms from the 4 congressional districts in Iowa, and 3 out of 4 support legalization of marijuana. 3 out of 4. Okay. 3 out of 4 congressional district platforms support legalization of medical marijuana. 3 out of 4. And when you add that up, that's all 4 platforms either have legalization of marijuana or medical marijuana. There isn't one that doesn't have at least one of those issues, and 3 of them have both. I'm going to get to that. I knew you'd ask. So, and 3 out of 4 have hemp, industrial hemp. So, getting to the question asked, why haven't we seen anything? In 2011, Senator Joe Bolcom from Iowa City and Senator Jack Hatch from here in Des Moines introduced a bill to legalize marijuana for medical use in the state of Iowa. It was passed by a subcommittee. Yeah. There were 3 people on the subcommittee, and Senator Bolcom and Senator Hatch were 2. So obviously the Republican lost. And it passed out of subcommittee. Well, it never went to the full committee, Health and Human Services, who's chaired by Senator Amanda Reagan from Mason City, and I think her career is in substance abuse counseling. And so I think there's kind of a conflict of interest there. I mean, we provide jobs for the law enforcement, for the jailers, and for the judges and the prosecutors, so we're good for business here in Iowa by being the commodity which they buy and sell and trade openly. So anyway, that just makes me wonder about the integrity of the substance abuse treatment people in the law enforcement community. Yeah. Where are they going to get a job if that job goes away? What are they qualified to do? So the other bill that was introduced in 2011 was in the House Committee on Public Safety. And this was a bill by the Governor's Office of Drug Control Policy, which is over there in that building with the yellow windows with the reflective windows, which you can see the Capitol building in the reflection distorted like somebody was on some heavy drugs. And they introduced a bill. Well, first of all, the Office of Drug Control Policy didn't come to the Pharmacy Board hearings. The Pharmacy Board held hearings in 2009 on legalizing marijuana for medical use, and the Office of Drug Control Policy didn't show up. And then the Board of Pharmacy voted unanimously in favor of medical marijuana. And so these guys drew up a bill opposing it and filed it in the Iowa House and got it filed in the House Committee on Public Safety, which is law enforcement. And the chairman of that committee put his own name on the bill as a sponsor, Clell Bodler, Representative Clell Bodler. And that bill was voted on finally this year. Last year it didn't go anywhere. It got voted on by committee. And we had 5 Democrats who voted against it. And this bill just said, in case marijuana might ever become legal for medical use, we oppose that. It didn't do anything. It was just like a statement, like, we don't want medical marijuana. Well, we don't have medical marijuana, so it was like a bill that does absolutely nothing. It was just an evil waste of time. So when that bill came up for a vote, 5 Democrats voted against it. All the other Democrats and Republicans voted for it. And I would like to read the list of names that voted on our side. Representative Aiko Abdul Samad from Des Moines. Representative Deborah Berry from Waterloo, Iowa. Representative Ruth Ann Gaines from Des Moines, Iowa. Representative Rick Olson from Des Moines, Iowa. Representative Mary Wolf from Clinton, Iowa. Now if you look at that, that's pretty heavy Polk County. And Polk County's the biggest, and we've got these issues in our platform, and I live in Polk County, and I'm very vocal. I don't let anybody go to a convention without hearing about marijuana. And then this year in the House, Representative Bruce Hunter filed a bill that would legalize marijuana, just like the one that Senators Bolcom and Hatch filed in the Senate. And that bill was referred to the Committee on Public Safety. Cops. Yeah, the bill on medical marijuana went to the Committee on Cops in the House, chaired by Clell Bodler. Because the Paulson, the guy that decides where the bills go, thought that was the appropriate place to put this bill. Yeah, in the Senate, the Democrats put it in the Committee on Health and Human Services. In the House, the Republicans put it in the Committee on Public Safety, Law Enforcement. Now another thing, this agency over here, the Office of Drug Control Policy, they don't have any administrative rules. You can't file a petition with them to ask them to change a rule or make a rule or nothing. They're not accountable to the public in any way. If you file a complaint with the Ombudsman will tell you they don't have any authority over that office. You know who the people are that sit on the executive committee of that thing? Cops and substance abuse professionals. Now these guys are supposed to, substance abuse is the unauthorized use of a legal drug, like morphine. Morphine's legal if you have a prescription for it. If it's authorized by law, it's not drug abuse. These guys, enforcement and substance abuse, they deal with the unauthorized use of substances. So these guys have this vested interest in continuing to buy and sell us as a commodity, that they didn't bother to go to the Board of Pharmacy hearings, but they come in completely unanswerable to the public and start lobbying to get this bill passed that fortunately died. It was passed by the Public Safety Committee and then it just died. It's gone. It's not going anywhere. But a couple other things that happened this year is that the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Eugene Frazee from Fort Madison, said he was going to introduce it. When he was asked about all this, he said, I'm going to introduce a bill to legalize marijuana. That made news coast to coast. He never did that, but that was his way of saying, screw you, to the people that were asking him if he was going to put a stop to this. And when I talked to the Senate Majority Leader, Mike Gronstall, what he told me was that medical marijuana is going to happen because President Obama supports it. And I didn't know what to say because I wasn't expecting that kind of a positive response. I just said thank you. But anyway, I don't see nothing coming from Republicans. You know, where's these Ron Paul Republicans in the legislature? They haven't been able to get, I appreciate what Ron Paul has to say, but if he can't get any support, real action on the ground, I've got votes from Democrats all over the place here. And I know I'm in the right party. I mean, that's where I want to stay because I'm making progress there. So thanks for listening and have a good day.
All right, I want to really thank Carl Olson for coming out, sharing everything that he's been busy with in the last year and telling you what's going on up at the Hill. Because, yeah, those lawmakers, they got their head up their ass. And that ain't no joke. And it's just like, he brings up Bodler, it's like, man, it's like that dude's the biggest reefer sad Iowan there ever was. But here, next person I want to introduce is a gentleman. He's a cancer survivor. He's been battling chemotherapy and things. Bobby McGee, I met him a couple years ago at the rally here. He's a very awesome gentleman. I want to give this microphone over to Bobby McGee. Give it up for Bobby McGee.
All right. Thanks, Ray. Yeah, like you said, my name's Bobby McGee, and I'm almost 60 years old. I've been fighting for the last 10 years for my life. 5 years ago, I had a liver transplant. I'm starting here in 2 weeks. I started my 3rd year of chemo. 6 months ago, they gave me less than a year to live. And I had to fight just to get on the chemo to try it because I'm a transplant patient. They won't let me have this new experimental chemo. 3 months ago, I had my house raided. Police raided my house. I had about $30 worth of pot and 2 pipes. And I had a SWAT team come to my house to do that. There was 3 houses hit with over 50 officers. It took them the whole day.
Waste of money. They might need to smoke and they'll do it better.
My house was the most. I had $30 worth of pot and 2 pipes. My buddies each had paraphernalia, pipes, nothing to smoke. But all that time and money they spent for that little bit of shit, it's senseless. Well, yeah, it is. You know, for my situation, I should have medical marijuana. Last year, when I started chemo, I weighed 250 pounds. In 3 months, I went to 170. Well, I've been packing the pounds on again. I'm 270 now. I'm getting ready in 2 weeks to start chemo again. This is just a little something I wrote down about five months ago after they told me that I had less than a year to live. And it says, I want the world to know that there are a lot of people being mistreated in our world by our marijuana laws. I am starting my 3rd year on chemo, fighting for my life. And it says, well, I used to weigh 250 pounds, but I went down to 170 in a 3-month period. And, but it goes on about where I was talking about, you know, I don't know if I'm facing charges or not. The other day I got a confiscation paper from the courts saying they was confiscating my pipes and my pot. I'm still hanging up in the air if I'm going to court or jail or what. I don't even know.
That is ridiculous.
But the thing of it is, if they do arrest me, I'll beat them out of the goddamn time because I'm probably going to die before that. But I'm going to smoke pot all the way there. You know, hey, it's been a real rough last 10 years for me because, you know, and I'm tired of being sick. I'm tired of hurting, fighting for my life all the time. And it's really bad when I have to look into my family, my friends' eyes. I see the pain and the hurt that they're living with because of my pain. And really, if I smoke pot because it gives me the munchies and I can eat. Otherwise, when I'm on chemo, I won't eat at all. I go for weeks without eating. And pot lets me help put me to sleep at night. But I don't know. I'm still kicking. And I'm a hard-headed Irishman. I'm going to beat him out. They tell me, when my doctors told me that they was giving me less than a year to live, I told my doctor, I'll give you 5. Smoke them if you got them.
All right, that was fucking awesome from Bobby McGee. And Bobby, and prayers are with you, so you're here next year.
I hope to be here, Ray.
Yeah, all right. And as long
I hope
as
to be here, buddy.
As long as you know, I don't like, you know, pull up stakes and like leave the state and do like I've been instructing everybody else to do and teach them how to move to Colorado and enjoy the freedoms of Colorado. But I want to give it up to everybody coming out and speaking already. And I guess what I want to say is, smoke bud, overgrow the world. 2012 Iowa Hemp Freedom Rally. Now, like I said, I'm going to be leaving Iowa. I got hired by the Colorado Department of Tourism because, you know, I've been so good at like getting people to move to their state and everything. So, but anyway, everybody needs to think about the cost of marijuana. When they buy marijuana, they think it's expensive, and they think, well, $50 or $60 for an 8 of the good stuff at the top shelf. You know what I'm talking about. Thank you, Free States. for overgrowing this United States, because we wouldn't have the quality we got going on right now if it wasn't for this movement going on, not in our state, but it's spilling over, baby. So I just want everybody to think about the cost. So you think that $60 or $20 for a bag of like regular weed or whatnot, that's not really a lot. But that $20, if you get caught with it, that just costs you more than $1,000. You know? So you think, well, man, the weed's expensive. Well, you know, that's why it's expensive, because Prohibition has driven the cost up. So, you know, and part of what happened out in California when they didn't legalize Prop 19, they did decriminalize it up to an ounce. But as we saw on 4/21, the day of 4/20, the day that a number of us all consumed, you know, like I tell people, I incinerate marijuana on site. So if you don't believe me, come see me later at the party. So, no, you bring the evidence, I incinerate.
Witness.
Can I get a witness? Yeah. And so, anyway, so this Chong kid, his last name was Chong, 20-year-old kid. He was a college student, I think, at the University of California, Santa Barbara or something. Cops raided a drug raid on midnight. It was 4/21, the night of 4/20, the day that that he was smoking marijuana. He told the cops he was there smoking marijuana, and the DEA held him at their office for 5 days and forgot about him. And you guys have all heard about this, right? Man, I hope this kid gets every penny when he sues them for $20 million. You know, they kept him there for 5 days over marijuana. For 5 days, you know, and marijuana's decriminalized in California. So if they're on a drug raid and he tells the cops, yeah, I was smoking some weed or whatever, they still want to arrest you for it. But they were holding him as part of the investigation, and they left him alone in a holding cell for 5 days. Kid was forced to, oh man, to do things that I don't know. Yep, he did. Was forced to drink his own urine, and he found methamphetamine in the bedding there in the holding cell. Isn't that whack? Isn't that whack? And so the kid was like going insane. You know, he's like breaking his glasses. You know, trying to scratching on his arm. I'm sorry, Mom. His mom's like enraged over that they treated him like that just over marijuana. And so it's insane, and that's in California. So again, everybody should be pissed off about that. I am damn pissed off about that whole situation. And I want to give it up to Nancy Pelosi stepped up and said that Congress needs to get off the medical marijuana state. So that's when the Congress needs to step up and reform some of these laws. These laws aren't going to change without Congress doing something and making a change to scheduling, because that's what it's going to take. That's what made marijuana illegal back in 1937, was an act of Congress. So, I mean, some of you aren't familiar, but I mean, most of you know that marijuana has only been illegal since 1937, right? Right? Okay. I know. It's only 70 years, well over 70 years. So, and then some of you heard Jimmy Kimmel calling out Obama at the press correspondence dinner. That was awesome. That was awesome. He asked everybody in the room who hasn't smoked marijuana, and only like a couple people out, like 400 or 500 press correspondents raised their hands. So it was awesome. So, you know, I really appreciate that for stepping it up. It was all over the news. And when people try and derail your argument about marijuana legalization, because it happens to me all the time, like some of you may have heard that a couple weeks ago I was on Simon Conway. I called in. Did anybody hear that loop on that? I got it on. Yes. All right. And Simon Conway, he's all about, well, but I've never smoked marijuana, but I want to legalize all drugs. I said, well, the conversation's about marijuana. Okay, and the reason I don't want all drugs legal is because I'm a former drug addict. I'm 12 years clean off of methamphetamine and cocaine. That's why I'm standing here. And the shit brings me to tears when people talk about, oh, legalize all drugs. They don't see what it does to families. You know, I've seen it happen to my own family, to my own children. You know, it's sad. It's sad. Drug abuse is not something to joke about. And marijuana and cannabis can rescue that from that addiction. So I'm living proof, and so are a number of you here today. I want to thank all the Free Staters, remembering the ganja prisoners. We can't forget about the guys that's sitting in prison right now for marijuana. You know, like Eddie Lapp, Mark Emery from Canada. He got extradited for 5 years. I think he's been there a couple years now. Eddie Lapp out in California. My friend Dr. Reefer from Nevada. St. Michael, got a chance to meet him a couple years ago. Yeah, they hemmed him up on like 30 months over federal charges for marijuana. And just because he's a career person dealing in marijuana. Some of you may be familiar with New Jersey Weed Man, NJ Weed Man. Yeah. He's on trial right now for something that happened a couple years ago. He's fighting that. He's fighting for jury nullification. So those are the kinds of things I'm following. I want to let everybody know. You may not know this, but cannabis it's like a steroid, but it's only natural. You know, it replenishes you know, a lot of the things that, you know, your body needs to regain. So if you think about cannabinoid or endocannabinoid receptors, it's human, and there's nothing human about caging non-violent adults for dead plants that are safer than aspirin. It's ridiculous.
Great. Yeah.
So I want to really thank everybody for coming out. I hope, man, you never know. I mean, you guys all remember the Deacon and Farmer John and these other guys, Bulldog, and they used to come to the rally every year. Now they live in Colorado. You know, so I mean, some people will tell you, well, it's not legal in Iowa, so you can't do it yet. Well, you know what? If I don't tell anybody, well, I'll just carry on. So,
Carry on, brother.
What I gotta say is, meth is death, pot is not. The law is wrong, not the bong. Crack is whack, so is smack. Coke is a joke, smart people toke. Just say nope to FDA dope. I have no need for gas station weed. Say yes to cannabis, live long, vaporizer bong. All right, now Johnny Reaper Seed's going to kick off another tune, I think. Give me a second to cue up. We're going to hear another marijuana song. All right, thanks Sorrel for coming out.
All right, give it up for these guys speaking the truth.
Might be yours, so
Thank you. Young little speaker. And don't forget to go down to Mullets after this. Big party down there.
Yeah, Nick. All right, give it up for Johnny Reefer. Thank you for coming out. You're playing some green music here at the Iowa Hemp Freedom Rally 2012. And man, it's a good crowd. It's a good crowd. It's a good day. It's overcast. It's a little warm, a little humid, but I'm feeling it. I've been feeling it all morning. I usually feel it every day. 24/7, 365. You know the life. So, anybody who's the next speaker coming up? Let's get up. Let's keep this mic hot. All right, Jim Gabman stepping up. All right, give it up for Jim Gabman coming all the way from the Quad Cities. Now I got some guys out in the crowd that came from Sioux City. Man, that was awesome. That's like the farthest away somebody normally comes. All right, Jim Gabman. Thanks a lot, Jim.
Hey, beautiful day. Good to see everybody. All right. You know, it's important that you know, we got Ray and Steve and Reverend Reefer. All these guys are going to call to come out for an event. Show up. You know, you got to be there. The revolution is on, but it's not going to be there unless you're there. So we appreciate you people that come, but bring your buddies next time. All right. I've been involved in the cannabis legalization effort since the late 70s. I'm really disappointed that we're not making progress like we should. There are reasons for that I'll explain in a minute, but I helped the Iowa State University chapter of NORML back in 1978. I've been a member of National NORML continuously since then. I served for 9 years on the board and director of Iowa NORML after Carl. And I just passed it on to Steve here and Ray, and these guys are all motivated. Mike, they're all motivated to get the ball rolling, and I certainly hope they're going to be successful here in a couple of years. But cannabis prohibition, it's a symptom of a growing problem with liberty in this country. If you don't have this, the Constitution, you can forget about marijuana or anything else. You know, Declaration of Independence. It's, you know, these people, they were petitioning the king in England, complaining about all different kinds of grievances, and the king was ignoring them. So they created the Declaration of Independence. It says life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But those things are constantly under threat. As they mentioned. Oh, who's that up there? Helicopter? DEA? Hey! There you go, constant surveillance. Well, welcome to the police state 2012. I don't know, anybody out there heard of Alex Jones and Infowars.com? Yes! All right, you tune into his show every day and you'll get the lowdown on what's going on in the Liberty Front. You know, I've been involved in this cannabis stuff for a long time, and I was disappointed that we're not making progress, and I kind of got more of an understanding as to why. It's because there's these people in our government that they just want to control us and keep us down, and there are things that you can do about it, but you know, our threat to our life, our liberty, and our pursuit of happiness, which is the pursuit of property, is constantly under threat. You know, our First Amendment, our right to be here, they're restricting free speech in a lot of different places and saying, oh, you can only protest within this small area called the free speech zone. Hell no, the whole country is a free speech zone, and you demand that right. And your liberty is to live your life and to be who you are and to be free and to do what you want to do as long as you don't bother your neighbor. Your neighbor's not complaining about, you know, your pot smoking or anything, you know, then you should be allowed to do it. And your right to pursuit of happiness, which really means the right to pursue and own property, is constantly under threat. They put our economy in such distress, and then with taxes, and you know, you're taking all this tax money and they're sending it to the New World Order. Your property is constantly under threat from UN Agenda 21. Google that and learn what that is doing. They're coming into your communities from an international precedence and telling you how to live on your property. You know, they're telling you, oh, you can't take the rainwater. The water doesn't belong to you, even though God gave it to you and it fell on your property. Oh, you can't keep it. You have to let it go. You know, you can't grow this kind of tree. You can't build this size house. This is happening in cities all over. You know, Quad Cities is having this problem. Cedar Rapids, I'm sure it's here in Des Moines. It's called Agenda 21, or Sustained Development. You need to talk to your city council people and find out what it's all about. This is all threats to our liberty. And it's not just pot. This is about your lifestyle, living in a free country. And Ray said something about jury nullification. You should know this, that The fourth branch of government is the jury. You got the legislators up here that make the laws, the executive that enforces them, the judicial that decides whether or not they're, valid cases to bring against people. But the fourth branch is the jury. When you sit on a jury, you have that power to decide whether or not a law is a good law and whether or not it's being properly implemented. The judge won't tell you that. There's a lot of legislatures across the country where people are trying to get instructions to the jury to include this, that you have that power to vote your conscience. It happened, I believe, in South Dakota in a small marijuana case. The judge could not find a jury. Everybody said, no, we're not going to convict, and they dropped the charges. So when you get that call for jury duty, you go, you don't tell them that you're an informed jurist, but if you get impaneled and it's a simple, victimless crime like marijuana, don't convict. You don't have to explain why, just hang the jury and say, no, I'm not going to convict. This corporate state, ours, has too many victimless laws. They just keep adding more and more and more. I mean, the police used to be to protect and to serve. They're supposed to help you if you had a problem. Now they're revenue generators and enforcers of victimless crime. We need to, I was taught the police are supposed to be your friend, but everybody's paranoid of the police, and I don't think the police like that, because that doesn't help them do their job when there really is a problem. So, go up and talk to the police officers, you don't tell them you smoke pot, but tell them to stop enforcing victimless crime, it's stupid. So, learn about the Constitution. Learn about, there's lots of different groups out there. There's Alex Jones and InfoWars. There's something called the Constitutional Sheriff's Project, where a number of sheriffs across the country understand this problem about how the corporate government is just growing out of control. And we have to bring the Constitution back to your county. So when your sheriff's candidates come around knocking on your door, you ask them, well, what do they think about the Constitution? The sheriff is the highest law enforcement officer in your county. He can kick the federal government. He can tell the federal government, get the hell out of my county if he wants to. He has that authority. And you have to stand behind him as a member of this sheriff's posse and say, the federal government, we've had enough. Get the hell out of here. It's hitting the fan. It's coming, We got the National Defense Authorization Act that authorizes the military to arrest U.S. citizens. Posse Comitatus says no. The military is not their function. It's the police that are supposed to arrest citizens for breaking laws. But now the government can take you away. They can make you disappear. Like that poor kid who spent 5 days in a holding cell and they just forgot about him. It is out of control, and you have to wake up and get involved in the process. And the way you do that is educate yourself. You talk to your neighbors. You show up at community meetings. And you say, I believe in liberty, and I'm not going to tolerate any more of this BS. And we're going to elect people that are going to move forward on liberty-type issues. As Carl was saying, the Democrats got this cannabis in the platform, but they're like stonewalled by the Republicans. Well, that's changing. I've been a supporter of Ron Paul, since before the previous straw poll. I got a 200-foot wide Ron Paul sign in my pasture, and it's on Google Earth, I ran as national delegate in 2008 unsuccessfully for Ron Paul, and it is not just Ron Paul. It's his philosophy of liberty, freedom, personal responsibility, and taking control of your government and being responsible for what you do. Things are just getting out of control, and we got to get back to our roots, restore America, enjoy your cannabis, don't bother your neighbors, and that's the way it should be, but it's just really frustrating. Educate yourself. You say, get on juries, we got Johnny Reeferseed here, go to his shows and say, hey buddy, thank you for speaking out, that's why I'm here. There's lots of other bands that'll have a similar message, show up and support them. When Ray and Steve and Mike, these guys say we're having a get together, show up, bring your friends, show support. I'm glad everybody's here. The war is not lost; it's a continuous battle, and I'm in it for liberty. It's just the way it is. So, I'm getting too old for this stuff. It's just like Terry was saying, we're getting too old for this. It's time for it to happen. I lost a lot of my good buddies. Jack Hara, I'm sorry, he's gone. Kenny Nims, he was part of the Iowa Grassroots Party. They made the hemp float. They took it through all these parades back there in the 90s. Some of the older folks might remember that. We got Ben Mazzell up there in Wisconsin. He's gone. Us older liberty leaders, I want to see it legalized in my lifetime, so let's do it. All right.
All right, thank you, Jim. And some good points brought up. This is an erosion of due process. It's the erosion of the rights we're supposed to have by the courts, and the courts don't respect our rights. I mean, the justice system is so bad. Where do you start with the justice system? You know, I mean, there's so many different levels where every time they see this crime, I'm going to bring up my case. I got 25 years for 1 gram of marijuana, convicted, here in the state of Iowa. It was a 5-year mandatory. I only did a year. Luckily, I got a reconsideration. But I mean, when I was going through that, there was somebody else going through the same thing too. I think he was 19 years old, gave his sister a half a joint. Sister was 17, 25 years for that joint he gave his sister. Pretty common to happen. It's just, we have some insane laws. I mean, everybody knows about the laws, you can go to jail for marijuana. Some of these laws are really insane, where something has to be done about it.